Welcome to Larry the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. On today's episode, let's rank the songs on the very first Van Halen album. Now, I made a video on this album. I believe I called it a milestone moment video because this album is truly a milestone moment, released in 1978. Eddie Van Halen, David Lee Roth, Michael Anthony, Alex Van Halen. The album sits at diamond status, selling well over 10 million copies, all kinds of hit songs on this album. It's a groundbreaking album in so many ways. In a lot of ways, it's predicting what's to come in the 80s with the whole LA metal scene. And of course, Eddie Van Halen changes the way people play guitar. The song Eruption, basically, as soon as everyone heard that, it was a whole new game in town. I often say that when it comes to guitar players who really changed the way people played, just when they came out, nothing was the same afterwards. For me, Jimi Hendrix, and then the next is Eddie Van Halen. Not that there aren't a lot of great guitar players in between, but these guys were really game changers. They just completely changed the rules. All right, so let's see here. Songs we got on the album. You Really Got Me, Jamie's Crying, On Fire, Running with the Devil, I'm the One, Ain't Talking About Love, Little Dreamer, Feel Your Love Tonight, Atomic Punk, Eruption, and Ice Cream Man. All right, so this is an amazing record. There are no songs on this that I would say that I hate. It is a just fantastic album. Like I said in my earlier milestone moments on it, it is just the definition for me of electricity. So like a band, just, to quote one of their songs, on fire in the studio, playing live, just tearing it up. Eddie Van Halen's guitar playing is just off the charts. I love his tone. I love the way he throws in little fills and dive bombs and stuff when he's playing a riff. He just never plays a riff over and over again. He'll play it, but he'll add all these little fills and little doodads and things onto it that always keep it and make it interesting. Okay, so we've got 11 songs here. My least favorite on the record is Ice Cream Man. Never really cared for this one. This is maybe the only song on the record that I don't really like, that I find myself sometimes skipping over. It's a little too sort of standard blues for me or something. I don't know. And I just kind of just never cared for the song. I mean, Dave sells it like he does with so many things. His character and personality just jumps out on all these songs. So he sort of redeems the song with that sort of half-spoken, half-sung way he delivers it at the beginning. And then the way it kicks in it's pretty fun. But it's at the bottom of my list, my least favorite song on the record. All right, next for me is Ain't Talking About Love. This is number 10. This is another one that it's a little too straightforward. It's catchy and everything. The chorus is catchy, but it's just a little too straightforward for me. It's one of those songs that when I was getting into bands and stuff, it seemed like everybody played it because, again, it's just like two chords. And when I was thinking of this list, I tried to go with not necessarily how I would have ranked them when I first had this record, when I was 10 years old or 11, and also not where I am right now, where I'm kind of burnt out on some songs on here. So I tried to go somewhere sort of in the middle before I reached the real serious burnout phase, but when I was past the fresh, new, never heard it before phase. Okay, number 9 is You Really Got Me. It's cool. I mean, the riff in the beginning is really cool and everything, but it's just one that it lands a little bit lower on my list because there's some songs on here that, in my opinion, are just better, and it is one I'm a little bit tired of hearing. All right, number 8, Jamie's Crying. I like the drum beat it is cool and everything. The background vocals, the background vocals all over the album are great. Eddie and Michael Anthony with those high background vocals. But it just lands at number 8 on the list for me because I tend to lean more towards the heavier, more intense stuff, which you'll see is starting to come up on the list. All right, number 7, Feel Your Love Tonight. This is fun. The harmonies sell this one for me. It's it's just a fun kind of California summer party rocker. When I think of bands like Van Halen, I can't help but think of California, that whole sort of environment. It's hard to imagine a band like California coming from Antarctica or Siberia or something. It's just their music just screams kind of sort of sunshine in LA and Venice Beach and that kind of thing. And this song kind of makes me think of that top down summertime, hanging out with some girls, fun. All right, number 6 is On Fire. Now this is getting into that sort of a little heavier sound that I tend to like. I like the main riff in this. I think is really cool, and I love the chorus in it. It has a really sort of strange kind of chorus, the way that Dave is singing up really high, the harmony is really high, like the chorus like sort of modulates and moves around, which I think is really cool. The guitar solo is great in this. Guitar solo is great in everything on the record. Number 5 for me is I'm the One. I love the main riff in this, that fast riff, and when everything breaks down and they do that that thing right there. I think the Van Halen vocal harmonies are sort of an underrated aspect of the band. Everybody talks about Eddie and Dave and stuff, and rightly so. But I always thought it was super cool the way they had these great vocal harmonies, and the way they do this thing here, almost like a doo-wop thing, I think is great. And I've just always loved the main riff in the song. I think is really, really cool. All right, number 4, Eruption. It is just a testament to how important this is, that a short little instrumental guitar thing would land up this high on my list. But it is really the greatest instrumental guitar solo on vinyl, I would say. It is a complete game changer. As soon as every guitar player in the world heard this, they knew that, all right, it's a whole nother ball game. Now it's super catchy. You hear it on the radio. You often hear this, and then going right into You Really Got Me. And I admit that is a fantastic 1-2 punch. I just thought of this right now. That'd be a good topic for a video. 1-2 punches. 2 songs to really go really well into each other. I did segues, video on segues, but something like this where 2 songs that just work really well together. And Eruption is just it's amazing, and it's full of technique, yet it's very memorable. It isn't just like he's just playing super fast. You remember all the parts. You can hear the tapping part in your head, the dive bomb thing, the way it ends and everything. It's just fantastic. All right, number 3. Little Dreamer. I always dug the mood of this one. It's the laid-back feel of it. I love Dave's vocal delivery on it. Again, the background harmonies are great, and it has just a little bit of a different feel than most of the other songs on the album, showing what an amazing band Van Halen was. They could rip it up like I'm the One, or then they could do something like this. This is almost like a ballad of sorts, and it totally works for me. It sounds really cool. I always love the guitar solo in this. He does these like bends and like harmonic things with his whammy bar, just great. And it always felt like it was live, which it probably was. They just went in and played it like they had been playing this stuff live, and you really sort of feel like you're sitting in a club, listening to this amazing band. And I always liked Little Dreamer, the melody line and the lyrics and everything. I love the story that the lyrics tell. All right, number 2 is Atomic Punk. I like the sort of darker, heavier side of these things. That opening chord sequence at the beginning is great, and whatever that effect he's doing, this sound in the song on his guitar. I think he has like a flange pedal or something, and he's playing up and down on a muted string, is super cool. I love Dave's, Atomic Punk, the way he screams that up really high, and just the whole vibe of the whole song, I think is just super cool. All right, and number 1, the only song left, is Running with the Devil. You could say maybe I'm a little tired of hearing this song. This does get played on the radio a lot, but it is super cool. It's a super cool album opener. That the way it fades in like that on that reversed sound or whatever it is, and then the bass with the drums, and when the guitar kicks in, it is just great. And on most of the record, it feels like Eddie is flying by the seat of his pants with his solos, which is just great because they sound like they're just spontaneous, they're just coming out of him. This is one of the exceptions on here where his guitar solo sounds very thought out. It's like he's playing this melodic, almost like classical line over it. He's just not sort of going flying off the cuff, you know, and going crazy. It sounds like it's really more thought out, and it works in it. Dave's shouts and that thing that he does up high with his voice is all over this. It's such a signature song. It sort of encapsulates everything great about Van Halen in this song. It's got a cool groove to it. It's got the vocal harmonies, running with the devil, you know, awesome. Dave's vocal delivery is just top notch. The guitar is fantastic. Just a great, great band. Michael Anthony, he doesn't get enough credit for his playing. He's a great bass player and his background vocals. And Alex Van Halen, a fantastic drummer that a lot of times took what could have been really simple drum beats, but he would twist things around in this sort of synergy that he had with his brother that maybe only could be had from two brothers. You know, they would flip rhythms around and do tricky things with rhythms that really made the stuff really, really interesting. But Running with the Devil is an amazing album opener, and it's just everything that I love about this era of Van Halen. Okay, there you go. The songs on the first Van Halen record, an amazing record, like I said. But I put myself to the test, put them in order. Let me know what you guys think. How would you put them in order for this classic, one of the greatest debut albums of all time? All right, let me know your order in the comments down below. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And until we see you again, make sure you stay heavy, stay metal.